Hi, today is World Cancer Day, and I want to send you and everybody who has cancer my regards and wish you all the best, wish you strength. But the real reason that I'm posting today is actually because it's time that I share some of my experience with having a soft tissue rhabdoid sarcoma, which is a very rare disease. And I know there's only a few cases of adults that have this. And unfortunately, most of them, they are fatal because a soft tissue sarcoma is a very rare disease to be found in grown-ups. It's a kid's disease, which is really terrible. Small children rarely survive that too, unless they can operate. But sometimes it's in the internal organs. The reason I share this and this information with you is, of course, I want to keep my privacy. But on the other hand, what weighs more for me is that actually somebody knows that there's a way out, or that you can see me still after almost 1.5 years fighting it. So I'm sharing this with you, which on this day is the most important for me because I'm a cancer survivor. I have fought cancer, and I've been struggling with cancer. So I maybe chop it up in a few episodes. Uh, First of all, I've been living in Southeast Asia, and I found out on one particular day of sporting that I had some kind of tissue that was hard. Didn't think about of it much, like what could that be? And then I started thinking back that actually a month before that, when I was cycling, I also felt something kind of a hard, kind of a ball, I would say, or not ball, but it was some substance that wasn't belong in my leg. Um, and then within a few weeks, it became a ball. What is very clear now is that a sarcoma, a soft tissue rhabdoid sarcoma, is super aggressive compared to any other cancer diseases that are out there. This is one of the most rapid. Um, and I know if you're watching and you have maybe a family member who has found a soft tissue sarcoma from the type rhabdoid, or maybe you're struggling yourself, you want to know if somebody is surviving it or not. And I cannot find it on the internet. It's very hard to find. There's only a few cases that I could read that was published. And I thought, I'll just make a video and share this with you. Knowing that many people that do know me from by face or personal, some of my friends, old and new, they probably not all know that I've been fighting cancer. So here you go. I just recovered from my chemo. I got my hair now back, but I want to share you today what I done in 2023. I had two operations, and the first operation that I had was successful. However, the free margin that they call on the tissue that they remove wasn't there. And free margin, you can look up what that means, but it basically means that the tumor was removed, which was finally a ball 5 by 8. I saw pictures of it. It's weird that that can grow in your body, and how good the body protects the cancer cells actually. So it's been removed, but they didn't remove on one side the free margin enough that they could say that they were clear or sure that there was no more cancer in my body. And so my stitches weren't healed yet, and I was back within 1 week or something, and did it again. And that operation was quite heavy, I think, for my body because by then they started really removing, yeah, small threads tissue from my leg, and went very deep. And they, on their microscope, checked it, and they couldn't find any cancerous cells. Later in the lab, couldn't find. And so, successful operation. Also, very thankful for the doctors that I have that operated me here. Um, yeah, without their specialism, I have to say, I would not be here, I guess, because they did really well. And yeah, I'm just very grateful for that. Uh, so after a recovery period of 2 months, I guess, and my wounds healed, I went to a process of chemo. Um, whether you like chemo or not, if you want to heal yourself, it's one of the best ways to do. If you have to believe the doctors, I didn't want to risk on my age any alternative ways or another way. I just went for it. And um, yeah, I have to say, from everything that I've done in my life, I must say that the chemo is one of the most hardest to go through. I mean, I've broken so many bones, operations, etc. But you cannot compare that to chemo. I had 6 chemos, 3 days per time, so every 3 weeks. So 3 days, 8 hours chemo, guys. So I know that every disease has a different approach and protocol. For soft tissue rhabdoid sarcoma, there is no protocol. That means that yeah, you have to talk with your oncologist, and they come up with a recipe basically. And I remember one particular treatment that I had is also mesna. Is to, if I'm not mistaken, to clean also the kidney. Um, and it is very tough for your body, and you have to really have a lot of IV. So I was on continuous IV and chemo, and I'm sharing this so you know what it could be, and everybody reacts differently, okay? Because it's not the same. But one of the heaviest chemos that there are out there, they told me there's one more, they said that they can use. But yeah, this was just preventively. So I did not have any cancer anywhere in my body, from what we know from the scans, but we just preventively had to chemo. And so the first time I thought, okay, I can do this. But the second time I got this chemo, my body said, what's going on here? And uh, didn't like it at all. And my body started to react to it really seriously. And so by the second time, I was still okay. But I have to warn you, the third time and onward, I was really sick from it. So I needed really 1.5 weeks to recover from it. So I had 2, 3 days I felt pretty good. And then, of course, you go back to your cycle again. So I go on holiday, I always go, and stay 3 days in bed. What was the toughest period, I think, was after the second one. The third one was really knocked me out. So my wife canceled all my friends that and family that wanted to visit me, and said, "Look, no." And yeah, it was very very tough to for her probably to see that, because yeah, it was so heavy. And I also had to inject myself with to promote white blood cells in my belly. And I must say, actually, that was the worst part of it, coming home and then I have to inject. And I knew how bad I would feel, and I would have pain all over my body, because you're trying to produce more white blood cells. And it has a really big impact on your whole body. I had back pains from it. I couldn't sit much. So I had to rest a lot. And I have to tell you that with chemo and operation, and now I'm back. It almost take me 1.5 years to be almost 100% again. I have to train a lot to get back to strength and to feel good and feel healthy. But I have some good news to share with you, and that is that I am clean. I have no cancer in my body as far as we can check. We checked an MRI 2 weeks ago, and everything is clear. And so, for anybody out there that is fighting cancer, any out there that might have a small chance, or maybe a smaller window, and you're not sure, I wish you good luck and strength, and believe in yourself as if you're healthy already. I know it sounds really weird, but you have to continue, and Yeah, I cannot say too much about it because everybody goes through a different process. But yeah, um, you have to believe that that there's more out there, and you can recover. That's my message, and that will be good and easy. And one day and the other day it's not. And nobody can really encourage you as well as you could do yourself. So stay positive, and maybe go day by day. Um, that's my only advice. I mean, I could say so much more. I'm very lucky with a wife that cares for me, and I learned to um, know. I learned also to see her side when I'm weak. She will still continue and never give up, and that's the most fantastic. And my daughter, who's only still young, now 13, been struggling with that a lot. And yeah, nobody deserves cancer. And when you're in your mid 40s with a young family, and you have this ball inside of you that is cancerous, you'll see your whole life pass by. And same if you're older, everybody has the same. Um, and life experience helps a lot. So especially for younger people who going through it, yeah, soft tissue rhabdoid sarcoma is terrible. Uh, there's there's a way to heal. And if anybody needs to have some information or want to know more about what I done, I'm happy to share with you, and you can contact me. Um, and then we will DM somehow. But I wish everybody, yeah, a fast recovery that is going through cancer now, and wish you to be strong and tough. And yeah, I hope for everybody that doesn't have cancer, but maybe have a family member is going through a very difficult period. Yeah, uh, stay strong for them. And it's the small things. You don't have to come and visit all the time, but yeah, be there sometimes. Just caring is all. Sometimes I got a message from very far friends that I didn't expect the least from, and they reached out for me. And I must say, it's always been heartwarming. I will never forget that because you cannot imagine how bad it is if you never sick and you never if it's not you and you have cancer and they have cancer. And nobody really realized that what it is up until you have some experience or family member have been through it. And so, yeah, I always reach out to people if I know they're fighting against cancer and fighting to be healthy again. Um, so, yeah, this is my message for today, and I'll maybe make anyone an extra one to share you more about my experience on operating, about chemo, and how to handle it the way I did it. But I wish you all the best for now, and we'll contact hopefully again soon.